The relentless march of tiny invaders into our homes is a battle as old as civilization itself. From the insidious trails of ants across kitchen counters to the unsettling scurry of a cockroach in the dead of night and the silent, destructive gnawing of termites, these crawling pests represent more than just a nuisance. They are a threat to our peace of mind, our health, and even the structural integrity of our dwellings. For decades, we have been conditioned to believe that the only effective defense lies in an arsenal of expensive, often toxic, chemical sprays and professional extermination services. But what if there was a forgotten secret, a powerful, natural weapon that costs less than a fancy coffee and could banish these unwelcome guests forever? Prepare to have your perception shattered. This isn't about another fleeting trend or a temporary fix. This is about rediscovering a solution so ancient, so effective, and so incredibly affordable that its very existence has been overshadowed by the multi-billion-dollar pest control industry. A solution that, once understood and applied, will transform your home into an impenetrable fortress against ants, roaches, and even the most persistent termites, all for a mere $7 investment. The era of chemical warfare in your living space is over. The age of natural, permanent peace is about to begin. 1. The forgotten history, ancient wisdom for modern woes. Before the advent of synthetic pesticides, humanity relied on ingenuity and the bounty of nature to protect their homes and harvests. Ancient civilizations, far from being helpless against pests, developed sophisticated, albeit often overlooked methods. As noted by Cook's Pest Control, even the ancient Egyptians, renowned for their advanced civilization, employed various natural remedies to combat insects, understanding the delicate balance between their environment and their survival. They used oils, herbs, and physical barriers, demonstrating an intuitive grasp of pest management that predates modern chemistry by millennia. This historical perspective, often highlighted by sources like Pest Defense when discussing the evolution of pest control, reveals a profound truth. Effective solutions don't always come in brightly colored cans with skull and crossbones warnings. They can be found in the very earth beneath our feet. Tree Hugger, a proponent of sustainable living, frequently champions these natural remedies, reminding us that many of the new, eco-friendly solutions are, in fact, ancient wisdom repackaged. It is within this rich tapestry of forgotten knowledge that our $7 secret lies. Diatomaceous earth, food grade. Diatomaceous earth, or DE, is not a chemical compound concocted in a lab. It is a naturally occurring, soft, siliceous sedimentary rock that is easily crumbled into a fine white powder. Its origin is even more fascinating. It is composed of the fossilized remains of diatoms, microscopic, single-celled aquatic organisms with intricate hard shells made of silica. For eons, these tiny organisms have lived and died, their skeletal remains accumulating in freshwater and saltwater beds, forming vast deposits of this remarkable substance. Our ancestors, perhaps through sheer observation or accidental discovery, stumbled upon its incredible power, using it to protect their grains and homes long before science could explain its mechanism. This ancient organic solution, once a cornerstone of natural pest management, was slowly pushed aside, not because it failed, but because it was too simple, too cheap, and too effective for a burgeoning industrial world. 2. Why this solution was suppressed, the industry's silent war. The story of diatomaceous earth's decline in mainstream pest control is a classic tale of profit over practicality. Imagine a product that costs pennies to produce, is entirely natural, non-toxic to humans and pets, when food grade, and permanently eliminates a wide range of crawling insects. Such a product, while a godsend for consumers, is a nightmare for an industry built on recurring sales and expensive proprietary formulations. The chemical pesticide industry, a behemoth generating billions annually, thrives on complexity, perceived necessity, and planned obsolescence. From the mid-20th century onwards, aggressive marketing campaigns began to demonize natural remedies as old-fashioned or ineffective, pushing synthetic chemicals as the pinnacle of modern science. These new compounds, often derived from wartime nerve agents, promised instant results and convenience, albeit at a significant cost to both our wallets and our health. The narrative was clear. Only powerful, laboratory-engineered chemicals could truly conquer pests. This created a cycle of dependency, where homeowners were constantly buying new sprays, baits, and traps, or paying for costly professional services because the solutions offered were often temporary, requiring repeated applications and sometimes even fostering resistance in the target pests. Diatomaceous earth, with its humble origins and straightforward mechanism, simply didn't fit this profit model. It couldn't be patented, couldn't command high prices, and, most importantly, it offered a long-term, sustainable solution that would reduce the need for continuous purchases. The industry had no incentive to promote a product that would effectively put itself out of business. Thus, this ancient secret was relegated to the fringes, known only to organic farmers, natural living enthusiasts, and those who dared to question the conventional wisdom peddled by corporate giants. But the truth, like the persistent diatoms themselves, always finds a way to resurface. 3. The science behind diatomaceous earth, a microscopic weapon. The true genius of diatomaceous earth lies in its microscopic structure. Unlike chemical pesticides that poison insects, DE works through a purely physical and mechanical action, making it impossible for insects to develop resistance. When viewed under a powerful microscope, food-grade DE particles resemble tiny, razor-sharp shards of glass. These aren't sharp enough to harm humans or pets. Our skin is too thick, and our internal organs can process it safely. But for insects with delicate exoskeletons, they are deadly. Here's how this natural marvel eradicates crawling pests like ants, roaches, and termites. 3.1. Physical abrasion. As an insect crawls over a fine dusting of DE, the microscopic, jagged edges of the diatom fossils cut into its waxy outer layer, known as the cuticle or exoskeleton. This is akin to an insect crawling over broken glass, but on a scale perfectly suited to their anatomy. These tiny abrasions compromise the insect's protective barrier. 3.2. Desiccation. This is where DE delivers its fatal blow. The silica particles of diatomaceous earth are highly porous and absorbent. Once the insect's exoskeleton is breached, the DE begins to absorb the vital lipids and moisture from its body. Insects, unlike mammals, do not regulate their body temperature and hydration internally in the same way. They rely heavily on their waxy cuticle to prevent desiccation. By stripping away this protective layer and absorbing their bodily fluids, DE effectively dehydrates the insect, causing it to dry out and die. This process is slow but inevitable, typically taking a few hours to a few days, depending on the insect and environmental conditions. This dual action, abrasion and desiccation, is incredibly effective against any insect that relies on a waxy exoskeleton for survival. Ants, with their delicate bodies, are particularly vulnerable. Cockroaches, despite their hardier appearance, succumb to the same mechanism. Even termites, often considered one of the most destructive and difficult pests, can be controlled and deterred by DE, as highlighted by sources like Florida Environmental when discussing natural termite control methods. The SDSU Extension, South Dakota State University Extension, frequently recommends diatomaceous earth as a safe and effective organic pest control method, underscoring its scientific validity and practical application in sustainable pest management. 4. Economic comparison, the $7 revolution. Now, let's talk numbers. The financial burden of pest control can be staggering. A single can of chemical insect spray can cost anywhere from $10 to $20, offering a temporary reprieve and often requiring multiple applications. Baits and traps can add up quickly. Professional extermination services, while sometimes necessary for severe infestations, can easily run from $100 to $500 or more per visit, with recurring contracts adding thousands over a year. The cycle is endless, expensive, and often exposes your family and pets to harmful chemicals. Enter diatomaceous earth, food grade. A large multi-pound bag of food grade DE, enough to treat an entire home multiple times over, typically costs between $7 and $15. Let that sink in. For the price of a single chemical spray, or less than 10% of a professional service, you can acquire a natural, long-lasting solution that actively works to eliminate pests and prevent their return. The savings are not just immediate, they are exponential over time. You break free from the recurring expense, the constant worry, and the health risks associated with synthetic pesticides. This isn't just pest control, it's financial liberation. 5. Step-by-step instructions, reclaiming your home. Using diatomaceous earth is remarkably simple, but precision and consistency are key. Always ensure you are using food-grade diatomaceous earth, as industrial-grade DE is treated differently and not safe for household use. 5.1. Preparation. Acquire food-grade DE. Purchase from garden stores, health food stores, or online retailers. Gather tools. A small duster, like a bulb duster, a spoon, or a fine mesh shaker can be helpful for even application. Safety first. While food-grade DE is non-toxic, it is a fine powder. Wear a dust mask to avoid inhaling fine particles, which can irritate the lungs, and consider eye protection. Keep children and pets away from the immediate area during application. 5.2. Application for ants. Identify entry points. Observe ant trails. They often enter through cracks in walls, around windowsills, door frames, and along baseboards. Dust lightly. The key is a very thin, almost invisible layer. If you can see a thick white line, it's too much. Insects will avoid large piles. A light dusting ensures they walk through it. Target areas. Apply along baseboards, under sinks, around pipes, in cabinet corners, behind appliances, refrigerator, stove, and any visible ant trails. Outdoor barrier. For persistent ants, create a thin barrier around the perimeter of your home, especially near foundations and entry points. Reapply after rain. 5.3. Application for roaches. Dark, damp areas. Roaches love dark, moist, undisturbed places. Focus on dusting under sinks, behind toilets, in the back of cabinets, under and behind refrigerators, stoves, and dishwashers. Cracks and crevices. Lightly dust into cracks and crevices where roaches hide. Avoid food surfaces. Do not apply directly to food preparation surfaces. If dusting inside cabinets, remove all food items first and clean thoroughly after the DE has done its work. 5.4. Application for termites, deterrent/integrated approach. Perimeter defense. While DE is not a standalone solution for established termite colonies, it can be an effective deterrent and part of an integrated pest management strategy. Dust a thin layer around the foundation of your home, especially where wood meets the ground or near suspected entry points. Wood piles/storage. If you store firewood or lumber, dust it lightly with DE to deter termites and other wood-boring insects. Professional consultation. For active, severe termite infestations, always consult a professional. DE can complement their treatment, but should not replace it for serious structural threats. Florida Environmental often discusses how natural methods can be integrated into comprehensive termite management plans. 5.5. General tips. Patience. DE works by physical action, not instant poisoning. It takes time for insects to crawl through it and for desiccation to occur. Reapplication. Reapply after cleaning, vacuuming, or if the DE gets wet, as moisture renders it ineffective until it dries out again. Cleanliness. Maintain a clean home, free of food crumbs and standing water, to reduce pest attraction. 6. Safety precautions and best practices. While food-grade diatomaceous earth is considered safe for human and animal consumption, it's often used as a dietary supplement and dewormer. Its fine, powdery nature requires some precautions during application. Inhalation. The primary concern is inhaling the fine dust, which can irritate the lungs, especially for those with respiratory conditions like asthma. Always wear a dust mask during application. Eye contact. Avoid getting DE in your eyes, as it can cause irritation. Wear safety goggles if applying in dusty or windy conditions. Skin contact. DE can be drying to the skin due to its absorbent properties. Wear gloves if you have sensitive skin, and wash your hands thoroughly after application. Pets and children. While food-grade DE is non-toxic if ingested, avoid applying it in areas where pets or young children might directly inhale large quantities or play in thick dust. Apply in cracks, crevices, and inaccessible areas. Once settled, a thin layer poses minimal risk. Application thickness. A common mistake is applying too much. A thick layer is less effective because insects will simply walk around it. A barely visible, fine dusting is all that's needed to ensure they come into contact with the particles. Moisture. DE loses its effectiveness when wet. It will become active again once it dries, but for continuous protection, reapply after any moisture exposure. 7. Expected results and timeline. Understanding the timeline of diatomaceous earth's action is crucial for managing expectations. Unlike chemical sprays that offer an immediate knockdown effect, DE works physically, which means it takes time. This is a testament to its non-toxic nature. It doesn't instantly poison, but rather slowly dehydrates. Ants and roaches. You should start to see a noticeable reduction in activity within 24 to 72 hours. Full eradication of visible populations may take a few days to a week, as more insects come into contact with the dust. You might observe dead insects, which is a clear sign that the DE is working. Termites. For termites, DE acts more as a long-term deterrent and a slow-acting killer for individual termites that cross its path. It's not a rapid solution for an established colony. Consistent application around vulnerable areas will help prevent new infestations and reduce existing ones over weeks. For severe termite issues, remember that professional intervention is often necessary, with DE serving as a valuable complementary tool. Patience is key. Do not be discouraged if you don't see instant results. The beauty of DE is its persistence. As long as it remains dry and undisturbed, it continues to work, providing ongoing protection without the need for constant reapplication of harmful chemicals. This ancient secret, once relegated to the shadows, is now yours to wield. It's a testament to the power of natural solutions, a rebellion against the expensive and toxic norms of modern pest control. For a mere $7, you gain not just a product, but a profound understanding and a lasting peace of mind. Don't let another dollar slip away into the coffers of an industry that profits from your pest problems. Don't expose your loved ones to unnecessary chemicals. Reclaim your home, your health, and your budget with the forgotten power of diatomaceous earth. The insects may have had their run, but with this secret in your hands, their reign is definitively over. The time to act is now. Transform your home into an insect-free sanctuary, permanently.